try to bring some understanding to the topic. How then can an individual see, because that's actually quite frightening to think about the fact that the frontal lobe can actually shrink when we actually want to be having a larger frontal lobe and a more functioning frontal lobe.
Yes.
And that is happening as a direct result of someone's unhealthy approach to sex.
Correct.
So what are some things that can make the approach more healthy and to actually not see these 3 negative brain changes?
Well, if the person has already started to experience these 3 negative brain changes, we recommend a reboot of the brain, and that is called a 90-day sex fast. This is where the individual uses no pornography, no masturbation, no orgasm. Even if they're married, they stay away from the intimate relations for a total of 90 days. Of course, they would need to have an agreement with their partner about this and inform them of the reasons and make sure that they're buying into this. But it's amazing what begins to happen after the 90-day reboot. There's now been thousands of individuals who have undergone this reboot as a result of this research, and they all talk about very positive brain changes that happen, almost, and physical changes across the board.
This is dramatic because something so simple can help an individual reboot who is having an unhealthy or unnatural relationship to sex. So let me ask you a question, because we've been seeing in the news quite a bit coming up about sexual harassment and inappropriate behaviors toward individuals. Often those individuals are toward women. It does happen toward men as well. But what are some of the causes that we're hearing about all of this today? Why are we hearing about this?
We're hearing about it because these people have all been overdoing it. They're all in the adverse brain changes. And when you actually have conversations with people where there's sexual connotations that are either interpreted or also, meant to be in the conversation, it's a sign that they're already in the desensitization mode. The desensitization mode, they will actually have and think, there'll be associations that happen where all of a sudden they're thinking of sex. And you'll be able to see this sometimes in everyday, sometimes office conversations or things like that, where something comes in that's not even sexually related, but somebody takes it that way. And that's a sign that they're actually in the desensitization mode. So that in and of itself is a sign of a need of a reboot. And what we will notice is if the person goes through the reboot, they'll be far more respectful in their conversations. They'll be much more engaged to life that's not related to sex. And if they are in a marriage and in an intimate relationship, their sex will then be far better. It's not just about achieving orgasm. It's actually about the whole intimate act. And then you see partners actually becoming far closer as a result. Now, how frequent would it be to experience these adverse brain changes? If you're having orgasmic activity more than once every 4 days, you're definitely going to get into it. But ideally, it's actually better for the brain to wait a week. So after the 90 days is over with and you're in intimate marriage, it's better to plan it about every 7 days so the male can get a nice testosterone spike that wouldn't occur otherwise, and to prevent those 3 unhealthy brain changes.